Hey everyone, welcome back to another LEGO Star Wars comparison, and today I'm comparing two different LEGO Star Wars X-Wings that they released in the last decade. We have Luke's Rebel X-Wing from 2021, and we have Poe's Resistance X-Wing from 2015. So I know these sets kind of have a big gap between them because between 2015 and 2021 they released a few more X-Wings that are related to Poe and Luke. But these are the two versions of Luke, or these are the versions of Poe and Luke I have. So these are the two I wanted to compare, and also because I just think that these are probably the two best versions of Luke's and Poe's. So without further ado, let's hop right into it. So we're gonna start off here with Luke's X-Wing, and this is based off A New Hope, like Episode 4, Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope. Well, the other X-Wing is based off Star Wars The Force Awakens, which is Episode 7. So we're going to start with the minifigures here. First, you get Luke Skywalker. And I don't know if you knew, but in the X-Wing before this one that they released in 2018, there was a different helmet that they used just for that one set. And that Luke Skywalker with that really big helmet from that X-Wing goes for a lot of money now. Goes for around $50, I think. But this is probably one of the best pile of Luke Skywalkers they've ever made. It is really detailed on the torso and the legs. It's even got back printing, and it's even got the two faces right there. One with the glass, or with the one with the eye protectors on and one with the eye protectors off. So there's Luke. Now R2-D2. Also, by the way, this is not the first time we've gotten this Luke. We've been getting this Luke for years. We've been getting it since like 2014, but what they did is they wanted to try something new in 2018, and it got really bad reviews that they switched back to this one. So now here's R2-D2, and just like Luke, R2-D2, especially this version, has came in hundreds of sets. I think everyone at this point has to have an R2-D2, but it's not as good as the one that we have in the new UCS X-Wing, but it's still great. It's got printing all over the head and got printing on the front. Two great figures, I think, but the two bigger highlights of this set here for the figs is versus Princess Leia, which was originally exclusive to the $200 TANF 4 from 2019, and I think this has got to be the best Princess Leia they've ever made. And it's got two faces, and both look great. The hair piece is great. She's got a blaster and great printing on both front and back. Really accurate to what you see in A New Hope. Now finally, General Dodonna, which is also another great figure and is probably the best figure in the set. Great detail and lots of printing on him. Love the new hairpiece too, and it's got two faces. So there are the figs, and now I'll just move those out of the way for a second and look at the X-Wing. So this X-Wing released on January 1st, 2021. And like I said, it's based off A New Hope. And I think this X-Wing is really detailed. Like, it obviously, they did a different way to do the nose of the X-Wing, which I think this looks amazing. I don't know what it is. I just really like this design. I think it just looks more like, I don't know. It just looks a bit better in my opinion. And then we've also got lots of stickers on it too. So stickers there. Stickers all over this back part of it, and then the engines as well look incredible. I think they look really good. I think this back part also looks really detailed. It does look like a bit of a block, but that's kind of accurate to what you see in A New Hope. And the engines look simple, but they look really accurate as well. Like, the size of them look really accurate. And like the cannons on all X-Wings, I think, have looked kind of inaccurate, but they look great for what they are. And the landing gear sadly doesn't come off when you it doesn't come off sadly, but like it'll work because I don't know why they didn't do that, but it doesn't stop this from being a great model. And you have 2 spots to put Luke and R2-D2. So I'm gonna just face the camera a bit down there. You can take Luke and then put him in the pilot seat here, just like that. And you could make him go up a bit, but then that closes off, and then you have one more spot to put R2-D2, but sorry about that. And there you go. And he does sit kind of high in there, but it is kind of accurate to what you see in Star Wars. So I guess, like, some people might say it looks a bit funky, but I quite like it. I think it looks accurate. And then finally, you have to do the wings. You have this little button here, and then you just press on it. And then just as simple as that, the wings will fold out, and it's a very swooshable set too. And then if you want to put it back in to landing, you can just close it, obviously, but you can also just put it down like that, and then they'll just close in it. And then finally, you have spring-loaded shooters, which I don't have mine, so I'll go get my whole bag of spring-loaded shooters quickly. So yeah, it does have spring-loaded shooters, and everyone should know how spring-loaded shooters work. You just, like, at the back, they're only on the bottom wings, you just flick them, and then they just flick off like that. So I think that this might honestly be the best playset version of Luke's X-Wing they've ever made. I think it's amazing. It's very affordable at $70, which was a lot better than $90 X-Wings from what we were getting from years past. So I think that this is the best version, the best playset Luke's X-Wing they've ever made, especially getting as well these 2 additional figures with Luke and R2-D2. Let's move on to Poe's X-Wing. And now finally here we got Poe's X-Wing, and this is the one from 2015. So there were 2 other versions of this, of the Resistance X-Wing, one in 2016 and one in 2020. 2020's was done in this, so you see how this one is done in black and orange. The one in 2020 was done in white and orange and blue, and then the one in 2016 was done in gray and blue. So they just changed the color schemes really for the other 2 that came out after this. But here are the minifigures here, starting with Poe. This is the only version of the Poe, of like Pilot Poe we've ever gotten, and decent figure. Like, I do think this helmet looks great. Sorry if it's a bit blurry, but yeah, his helmet looks great, I think, and he's even got an extra face and great detail, actually amazing detail on the torso there, geez. And then also some pretty decent detail on the legs. And I don't really know the other 2, but I just know that this is just a Resistance pilot, so really nothing too special about it. Doesn't even have a second face, so yeah, really nothing too special about this figure other than it just having, again, crazy amount of detail on the torso. And then I don't really know the name of this character, but because, like, I don't know, I don't really remember the names of this character, but it's like the helmet's cool, but other than that, the fig's kind of weird, and like it doesn't have that much detail on it. And finally, a BB-8, and I think everyone has at least 2 or 3 BB-8s. I currently have 2, one from the Falcon and one from this set, so everyone at least has 2 BB-8s. Now moving those out of the way, here is the X-Wing here, and this one actually is a bit bigger than Luke's, as you can see. But I would honestly might say I still like Luke's more. But starting off here, the beautiful stripe that goes all the way down here, I think is great. They do the original nose strap that they used from starting at, like, I think the 2004 one all the way up to the, I think then all the way up to the 2020 Resistance one. And there is stud shooters on the model that just shoot off like that, and there is another one on the side, and they just shoot off like that. And really don't want to lose mine, so I'm gonna just put those right there. And then for playability, you also have 4 spring-loaded shooters on the wings here, so kind of like how this one just had 2 on the bottom wings. And then this one has 4 on both wings, which I think is great for kids that just want to have fun playing with their X-Wings around. And it's really good. So I'll just get those out of the way. And now moving into the inside where you put your 2 figures. Again, you can lift up the windshield, and this one you have a little bit more space to put Poe. So here you're just gonna, you even have space as well to put his blaster in the back. So here you can just put him in right there, close that up, and then you can put BB-8 in the back here. So there's that. And then you got the landing gear here too, which can actually come up. And now finally you have this little knob, and what does it do? Puts the wings up. And however though, with mine, when I put the wings back in, they do just kind of, it's mainly because I've had this set now for like, ever since it came out in 2015. So I've had this set now for 8 years. And the elastics have just kind of waned over time. You see, like now I have to start like twisting them, and it's still not even really working well. But so yeah, but at least it still works. But yeah, they do kind of fall off now, and plus I'm even missing a piece there, which I've been missing for the longest time. But so yeah, but I still think this is a great X-Wing, and I would probably say it's my favorite of the 3 resistant X-Wings they did. And so I don't really know why these aren't, why is this one not clipping back in, bro? Like, come on. Come on. Okay, I don't really know, but yeah. So that's Poe's and that's Luke's. So now let's close out the video, and I'll say which one I think is better for each. And now giving my final thoughts here and giving what I think is better for each. Starting off with the minifigures here. So you get 4 minifigures in each set, however. So you get a Resistance pilot, Poe, BB-8, and some other random dude in post. And then on Luke's, you get Luke, R2-D2, Princess Leia, and General Dodonna. I think it's quite clear that Luke's X-Wing has a much better figure selection than Poe's X-Wing. So I think this is better for the minifigures. Now for playability, I would say Poe's is better. Even though it does use elastics and they can wane over time, it does have those extra stud shooters on the side. It's up like right the cockpit. And it has extra spring-loaded shooters on the top wings, while this one only has 2 on the bottom. And now for displayability, I think both of these look really good on display. Obviously, Poe's is a bit bigger than Luke's, but I don't know. I would kind of give these a draw for playability. So I'm going to give a point for both of these for not for playability, displayability. And also accuracy, because both of these sets are really accurate to what you see in universe. And now for the value, so this set right now is $70 Canadian, and this set when it released was $90 Canadian. I think $90 is a bit too much for an X-Wing, and shouldn't be the price of an X-Wing, I don't think. So I'm gonna say then definitely the 70 is better for Luke's. And then so that really leads us now to the final, and which is like the total, and I would say that Luke's is just the better X-Wing than Poe's. Obviously, lots of people might say Poe's is better just than this version of Luke's X-Wing just because it's a lot bigger. I just prefer Luke's X-Wing, and I just think this is the best playset X-Wing that they've probably ever made, if I'm being honest. So I would say that if you have the option to get one of these two, get Luke's X-Wing. I think it's a much better model, and leave it at that. Although Poe's X-Wing, especially this one, is still an amazing looking X-Wing. So yeah, that's all I have for today. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you guys want my next comparison video to be, and I'll see you.